Josh, we got to get down to business because we are both from Chicago or the Chicagoland area, and we both grew up in the time of greatness. We beheld the Jordan era Bulls, and the thing is that with us Chicago people, we are very much like that's like the cream of the crop. Like there's no team better than that Bulls team. Same with there's nobody better than the 85 Bears. Those are the things that we kind of hold on to. And one of the team members from that era is you saying some just whack things, man. And of course, we're talking about Mr. Scottie Maurice Pippen Sr. Oh, this guy. Beloved, we love us some Scottie Pippen, probably the best number 2 player ever. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. He probably, in terms of being that second player that you need, he would definitely be up there.
Exactly. And I don't know what's happened to him, but pretty much ever since, would you say by when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame? That's when it started getting a slippery slope.
I would say there were hints of it. I kind of, if I were gonna do it, I would probably go back and see like where did it happen, or like where were the early signs.
Yeah.
But it seems to be that the biggest gripe is his portrayal. Like it is really started in his portrayal in The Last Dance. Now he is coming out with his own memoir. He's also coming out with his own liquor, his own alcohol line. So that I think the promotions of it has to do with that. But I think it stems from his portrayal in The Last Dance and just him he didn't like the fact that they brought up the migraine game back in 90, that one, that just stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Where you just get a headache and you just suck.
Yeah.
The one that he didn't like was the part that he didn't like, actually two. Well, I take that back. It's really 3. The three that he didn't like that was brought up was the 94 playoffs where he sat and Phil Jackson drew a play up for Tony Kukoc. He didn't like that, so Pippen sat and went to the locker room. Bill Cartwright, who was in his last year as a player, bawling his eyes out, basically telling him like, you're the leader of the team, you let this team down.
Yeah.
And then in the last year that they won, he had like a knee injury or a leg injury of some kind.
He had surgery.
But he withheld it.
Yeah.
He held it out on the surgery, had it later in the year.
Well, he had
which would have caused him to miss part of the 97-98 season.
Yeah. That's ultimately what happened. And the speculation was that he was holding out just because he was just butt sore about his contract situation, stuff like, and everything.
Which that was going to be the third thing I pointed to. Which he's butt sore about the contract that he signed, which most people told him at the time like not to do it. I think even Reinsdorf even told him, like, or at least said in the doc, like, I told him not to sign it. He just did. Yeah,
he told him, because Reinsdorf has always been known for like the long extension contracts and everything, and he told is like, if you don't agree with this or anything like that, let me know and we'll try to figure something out, kind of a thing. But if you sign it, you signed it, okay? You can't break it. You can't ask for trades. You can't do anything like that. You sign it, you signed it. And he signed it. All right, everybody. I have to take a little quick second to tell you about Anchor.fm. We are affiliated with them, as in this is the place that's hosting our website and all of our podcast feed and everything like that, and he'll be able to distribute it to all the different podcast sites, especially Spotify, because guess what? They're owned by Spotify, which is awesome. So if you are looking to check out the newest podcast presenters and looking at for new podcast shows, they have a great collection on here. And on top of that, you're able to support these people. You're able to support us because we're on here. And if you want to, you can go to anchor.fm/SDYLS and you can actually support us. There's a donation button, and then we haven't set up memberships, but you can actually set up memberships as well. And if you are actually starting a podcast, this is a great place to be at, because that's the big thing about it. You can create, distribute, and monetize your podcast for free. Free. And that is huge, because the way that everything is on Anchor is very easy. You can upload everything. You can actually record from Anchor and put in music and everything like that, and it's absolutely free. And it helps out too, because you need a website, especially if you're doing podcasts, because you need an RSS feed. And it can give you all that, and you can distribute it to every different place that you can go to. So definitely check out anchor.fm and check us out on anchor.fm/SDYLS, and definitely give us a listen. And definitely, if you feel it in your heart, donate some money to us, and we can make, better quality videos and give you content that you guys desire. Thank you. And back to the podcast.
Yeah, so he's kind of he's butt sore about all of that.
So yeah, and like he's just going off on different tangents.
But even then, like the other one was he called Phil Jackson a racist for drawing up the play for Kukoc.
Yeah, he did. He did that, and then But
even at the end of the doc, he's sitting there going. At the end of the doc, like he's getting praised for playing that last game. Like I went back like around the time the doc came out, and they had Game 6, the last Jordan game with the Bulls on Prime, so you can go and watch it.
You can watch a lot of his old, like Jordan's old record breaking games, like the
flu game,
and then there's also you're able to watch like the game against Boston, the first time to playoffs where he dropped 60.
Yeah. But in that Pippen game, in that 98 game, the Game 6, he only plays like 25 minutes, and just like whatever you get out of him, like his back is stiff, like he's hurting. He's out there playing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people after that were like, oh no, like he's tough. And so I think he's just hurt that stuff, the stuff that dings him is brought up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like he has, like those things happen. Like you have to wear those. Like
exactly. And speaking about his back game, because he was like, that was one of the things that he was griping about, is like it's much easier to do a flu game versus going out there with like a messed up back kind of thing, and downplaying Jordan. I think he's getting to the point. I like, if I'm putting it in his mind, into his shoes kind of a thing, I think he's getting sick and tired of people just asking about Jordan, because like any interviews or anything like that, it's like, how was it to play with Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time? Like, what were you thinking about during the flu game, or what was this, that, and the other? And they don't really ever, like, they'll talk about different things about Scottie, but it's mainly about Jordan. And I think he's just getting too old to where he's just like, man, because a lot of his attacks have been against Jordan. Like, he said, I think one of the first ones that got kicked off was like they asked him who's better, LeBron or Jordan, and he goes LeBron. So there was that, and then the whole back thing, and it's just, I think he's just getting sick and tired of he just wants to be noticed. I think that's why he probably made these memoirs, because he's just like, I need to tell my side of the story, kind of a thing. And on top of that, I kind of want it to focus on me. You're asking me interview questions about somebody else that, yes, I played with, but you're not talking about me at all.
Yeah, and there was a little stretch leading up to the doc where they were asking questions about Michael compared to LeBron, and he actually went back and forth on it, because I think after Cleveland had come back from that 3-1 and they had beaten the Warriors, he came out and said like he thought LeBron was better.
Yeah.
And then he retracted that, I think, a year later, and was like, no, I think Jordan was better.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think part of it is that, the thing is that like with Jordan, there's no moments where like he sat out for the purpose of, because a play wasn't drawn.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, you can only maybe point to one instance. And it was in the doc, I think in like the first or second episode. It was like the year that Jordan like either like tore his ACL or something in 85, 86.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they actually had him on minutes restrictions. Like he couldn't play more than, what was it, like 7-minute bursts or something like that, like 7-minute halves or something like that.
Yeah.
Something really weird. And they had it in, I think it was like in the game they were playing to get, it was their last game of the season, they were playing again in the playoffs. The coach tells him like, I gotta sit you, and Jordan's like, no, I don't want to sit.
No, that was the first playoffs.
Yeah, that was the coming back from an injury, because that's when he then goes and does the first round against the Celtics.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to sit, but the coach tells him, I got to sit you, because if I don't, like, I'm going to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
So he sits him, and I think it's Paxson ends up hitting the shot or something like that to win the game.
Yeah.
I think they're playing the Pacers.
Yeah.
And they end up winning the game. And instead of sulking in the corner and walking off to, or sitting and just stewing,
mm-hmm.
he's jumping up and down with his teammates, high-fiving him, and he's high-fiving Paxson with a shot. And it's like, he's happy that they won.
Yeah.
He was more happy that it's like, we won, we're going to the playoffs, we get to go face the Celtics, and even though they lost, like, his attitude was like, I want to win and do that, versus in that moment where Scottie gets the play drawn up for Kukoc, and he's asked to inbound the ball, his mind is going, no, I deserve to take that shot, rather than just like, hey, we got to win this game.
Yeah.
So I think he has to wear, I think it, like you're saying, it boils down to people wanting to talk about Jordan, but I think for him in The Last Dance, like, there were sore spots that were brought up, but then at the end, it's like he's sitting there getting praised for all the stuff that he did. Yeah. It's not like all the other good things were ignored.
Yeah, exactly. And like, because that was the nature of Jordan. Like, Jordan wanted to win at all costs. Like, his loyalty to the Bulls and his money with the Bulls and everything like that, he just didn't really care about money. He cared more about winning. Like, he knew that he wasn't going to get, you know, a whole lot of money from the NBA. That's why he did so many different endorsements, and that he did, you know, made his partnership with Nike, and then developed his own, the Jumpman brand and everything. And because he knew that's how he's going to get paid. But it helped him to become focused on what needed to be done. And Jordan hates losing. So that was the overall attitude of him, is like, we need to win. We need to win. If you're not going to be, you know, there to help us win, then just get out, kind of a thing.
Oh, Jordan was more like, I'm going to ride you till you get on the same page.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll either get on the same page or leave.
Exactly.
It's more so, whereas, not to make a comparison, but like with LeBron, it's more so of, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to trade you.
Yeah. Or I'm just going to go to a different team.
Or I'm going to go to a different team. Whereas Jordan was just like, I'm going to ride you guys till you just do until you submit.
Yeah, exactly. And that'll bring, so overall, Scottie, we love you. We do. And it's just like, I hope this is all publicity stuff, because I mean, a lot of different analysts are saying that it is publicity, like, you know, to get his book out there, to get his I forget what type of liquor it is, but to get that out there,
even Scotch,
yeah, something like that. But I think this one is the most funniest thing, because like, I like Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal calls out Scottie Pippen for saying that he is better than Michael Jordan. If that man say that in front of me, I'm gonna hit him in his esophagus. Oh man, I like the TNT crew for the NBA, especially Shaq and then Charles Barkley, because Barkley's just straight up just says everything honest.
It's gonna be sad when he leaves.
Yeah, very much so. That is gonna be a different dynamic there, and with all these new players coming up and retiring and everything like that, it's just gonna be a lot of just sissy talk.
Yeah, I like it. I think they found a good groove between those four guys.
Yeah.
I really hope Barkley reconsiders and stays, because it's been a double-edged sword for Barkley, because he started like immediately after retiring.
Yeah.
Which, if you actually go and look at his stats, like especially in the late 80s, early 90s, like he's good. Yeah, he won MVP
one of the years. And like, he was really good. It's just that, like everybody else in that era, you had to go against the Chicago Bulls.
Right. It's like, no matter what, Jordan was sitting there waiting in the wing.
Yeah.
And the wings just like getting ready to take it down.
Yeah, and like, that's why it was such hype when Jordan went to go play baseball, because everybody had a chance. Everybody had a chance. So it's like, come on. And they went for it. They went hardcore for it. So, hey everybody, thank you for watching this episode of So Do You Like Stuff. From the bottom of myself and Josh's heart, we want to thank each and every one of you. If you haven't had a chance, go on the bottom there, hit that little subscribe button, and then hit the like button if you truly enjoyed our episode. And make sure you share this with your friends and everything. And on top of that, if you want to take us on the go, we are actually on Anchor. That is anchor.fm/SDYLS. And then also you can hear us on Spotify at So Do You Like Stuff, and then other major podcasts platforms. If there's one that you cannot find us on, let us know about it. And then also, if you want to get in contact with us or see if what's going to be on the down low list out, so do you like stuff, you can actually hit us up on our Facebook and our Twitter as well. That is for Facebook, it's facebook.com/SSDYLS. And for Twitter, it's the same thing. So it's twitter.com/SSDYLS. Thank you again for watching and supporting this channel, and can't wait for the next one.